If your pre-squatting hip warm-up looks something like this, doing a few leg swings and then a couple of air squats, I'm gonna show you an upgraded warm-up you can use. It's quick, it's efficient, and it will get your hips ready for squatting. My name's Jamie. I'm a physical therapist. In the clinic, I work primarily with military and tactical athletes. Online, I enjoy helping adult athletes of all backgrounds stay healthy and injury-free. So to get the hips ready for squatting, we want to hit two primary things. The first is going to be hip rotation, and then the second is going to be getting the hips used to compressive force at that end range hip flexion. This is a 3-exercise sequence that'll take you about 5 minutes, but is my go-to warm-up for people with stiff hips, overcoming hip injury, or just want a little extra warm-up prior to getting under the bar at the gym. So first, I like to start with hip cars, and I usually will do these inside the squat rack so that I have something for balance. But basically, a hip car, we're taking the hip through its full range of motion. These should be done slow and controlled. We're trying to not move anywhere else in the body and really just isolate the hip joint. So what these are gonna look like is we're gonna flex the hip up. We're gonna then open the hip up out to the side. We're gonna rotate knee down, foot up. We're gonna kick behind us. We're kind of drawing this like half circle here. Knee's gonna end up under our hip, and then we reverse it. We're gonna kick straight back using all glutes. We're now gonna rotate the hip again, knee out, foot in. We're gonna drive that knee up towards our shoulder and then around towards our chest, and then slow and controlled. I perform about 3 to 5 of those on each leg before moving on to the next exercise. Next up are gonna be bear sit rotations. So you're gonna plop down on the ground. You're gonna bring your feet and knees wider than hip distance, and then you're gonna kind of let those legs splay open. You're trying to keep your spine long, chest up. You can use your hands on the ground here for support. We're prying the legs open, but then what we're gonna do is we're gonna alternate. So we're gonna keep one leg open, the other leg is gonna swivel in. This is hip internal rotation here. And then you're gonna swivel back out, and then we're gonna alternate. So basically one hip is externally rotating, the other hip is internally rotating. I'm going slow and controlled here, and I'm also kind of thinking about creating like a little internal tension. What I mean by that is I'm kind of thinking about moving my legs through like tar or mud, so I'm kind of contracting all the muscles against this like internal resistance. But I usually hit about 10 of these each direction, and then we move on to the final exercise. Okay, and then last up, this is the real money maker for getting the hips primed to get into a deep squat, because we're gonna hit end range hip flexion coupled with internal rotation. So you're gonna need a yoga block, or I've had people use an ab mat at the gym, but basically something that can block between the knees. You're gonna lay down on your back, your object's going between the knees. You're gonna start at like a 90-degree hip bend, so knees pointed up towards the ceiling. And basically we are going to drive the knees into whatever your object is, swivel those thigh bones inward as the lower legs come out. You'll probably feel some tension and work on the front of the hips here. You're gonna hit a couple reps, but then what we're gonna do, we're gonna up the ante. We're now gonna start flexing the hips up a little bit. You're gonna hit another couple reps, and you're gonna keep working your way up into greater angles of hip flexion. You'll notice that the more flexed you are, the less rotation you have, and the more gnarly that rotation feels. So I usually will hit about 10 rotations total, kind of clocking different angles, finishing with a few reps here, kind of flexed to my max. So give this warm up a go next time you're at the gym getting ready to hit leg day. If you liked this workout, go ahead and hit the like button, drop a comment below so that I know you like this and you want more of this content, and then make sure to follow my channel for more tips on how to keep your body healthy and injury free.